First, ladies and gentlemen, I believe he is following the American League Series. Mr. Keith Costas, MLB Network producer. Good morning, Mr. Keith Costas.
Good morning. Christmas in October. Do you have the address to send in those red light tickets? Like that, if you have it handy.
Have you ever gotten a red light camera ticket in St. Louis?
Potentially. No comment. I'm pleading the fifth.
You didn't get one. Your car got one, but you didn't get one necessarily. Exactly. All right. You're following the American League Series, right?
I was with the Blue Jays earlier in the postseason. I'm back in beautiful Secaucus now in the studio. But yeah, that's the only one left. So that's what we're following the next few days.
Give us a sense of what New York was like after the Mets swept the Cubs.
Insufferable. Maybe might be the word I go with. No, people are pumped about the Mets, and rightfully so. I mean, it's a really exciting team, and I have to admit, even though a bunch of my close friends are big Mets fans up here, and like I said, they can be an insufferable bunch at times, I have to admit that I'm kind of all in on this Mets team. It's a really exciting group. We saw what that pitching can do. The offense is clicking, and it's exciting times around here. It's a fun team to watch.
Well, as much as you're putting up with Met fans, a lot of us here are putting up with Cub fans. And this idea that the Cubs are the team of the future, okay, they've got some good hitters, but they need pitching, and they need pitching in a really bad way.
For sure. I totally agree. I mean, there's a lot to like about the Cubs going forward, not the least of which are the people running the team, both on the field and Joe Maddon, and in the front office with Theo Epstein and his bunch that got things turned around in Boston, and they're obviously on their way in Chicago as well. But yeah, they have questions to answer this offseason. There's going to be pieces out there that make a lot of sense for them, mainly David Price, who spent all those years in Tampa Bay with Madden and is going to be probably the premier free agent on the market this offseason. So there's ways that they can address that with deep pockets if they want to go that route. So yeah, they could be a force to be reckoned with for a while here, but not a perfect team by any stretch of the imagination. They do have more reinforcements coming, though, on the hitting side with even more young players, which is a scary thought considering what we already saw from them this postseason.
Somebody has to teach Kyle Schwarber how to play left field, though.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that was the thing about him coming out was a lot of people said that, this is one of the better college hitters we've seen in a generation or so, but where's he going to play? He's not a catcher. That's what he played in college. He can get back there and not completely embarrass himself, but no one's going to confuse him with Yadier Molina anytime soon, and we saw him kind of diving, tumbling, and rolling around the outfield for most of the last 3 or 4 nights. So yeah, he needs to find a position. There's some people that I've thought, suggested, hey, trade him now while you can, while his value's high. Trade him to an AL team where you can DH, see what you can get. I don't think that's the answer. Joe Maddon's a creative guy. I think he'll figure something out. But yeah, it has been pretty watching him with the glove.
Yeah. All right, so let's turn to the American League. The Royals are up 3-2. The proverbial up 3-1. Toronto's come back in every single series, it seems like. They're the comeback kids. I don't know that this is necessarily over yet.
Yeah, it's definitely not an offense that you want to give too many chances. I mean, we've seen how explosive they can be, especially in their ballpark. Good news for the Royals going back to Kaufman, where they've had a pretty big home field advantage playing in front of that rowdy crowd. And the Royals are a scrappy team too. I think they've scored something like 60% of their runs in this entire postseason have been from the 7th inning on. So you can never really quite kill the Royals off either. They've had a bunch of huge innings and just some improbable comebacks, both this season and last in October. So I think it's going to be a good season. We mentioned David Price a little earlier in regards to the Cubs. I think that this game tomorrow is going to be a really intriguing game for Cardinals fans, too. He's a guy who could be on their radar if they want to go that route. I don't necessarily expect it, but it's been pretty widely reported that there's a mutual interest there between Price and the Cardinals in the past. So he's definitely a guy that, for the Cardinals, whether that be, the Cardinals themselves actually kicking the tires on Price or the looming fear that Price, Lester, and Arrieta could become a big three on the north side. Either way, it's something Cardinals fans will be paying attention to in the coming months.
Really interesting. Go easy on those Met fans. They're paying Bobby Bonilla more than they're paying their entire starting pitching.
They have 87 players that throw 150 miles an hour and haven't turned 15 yet. So I think they're going to be all right.
Mr. Keith Costas, live from Secaucus, New Jersey, the world headquarters of Major League Baseball Network headquarters, and he, of course, makes the whole thing go. Keith, have a good weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, McGraw, thanks.
7:10 here, Big 550 KTRS. I have a